Morning everyone, it's Emily Wilkes from Go Get 'Em Coaching here. Adding to my video yesterday, I am wanting to chat to you today about another part of the work that I do with clients that I thought might be useful to add to the resource collection. So yesterday I talked about the fact that I'm going on maternity leave at the end of this week, and that I was wanting to leave a range of resources for my clients so that they have access to some ideas and thoughts about things while I'm away, and so that they feel as though, you know, there's some of the ideas that we might talk about in sessions are available for them online. So yesterday I talked a bit about self-care, and today I wanted to talk really about making sure that you don't go it alone, because one of the things that often happens when we're really stressed and we're overwhelmed and we've got lots going on in our life is that we can sometimes tend to shut down and hold it all within ourselves and try to juggle everything and manage it all without accessing support. So that often adds to the burden, and it adds to our stress, and it adds to our sense of overwhelm. And often when we're in that state, we forget that there's actually lots of people around us, whether it be at work, whether it be personally in our private lives, family, friends, people who, you know, are around us that are available for us to actually give us a bit of a leg up, give us a bit of a hand, people that are willing to listen, people that might have some ideas about different ways we could approach things, or, you know, just practical kinds of supports. So I wanted to jump on today and sort of say, you know, this is a really fundamental aspect of managing stress and overwhelm, and getting on top of things like depression and anxiety as well, is really recognizing that you're not alone, that there are lots of people around you. And often when you do reach out to people, just reaching out and chatting about it can really lift the burden, lift the weight on your shoulders, because, you know, they say a problem shared is a problem halved, and that's really something that's very true for all of us. I noticed somebody's jumped online. Please let me know if you're online. I'd love to know who's there. I hope you're having a lovely morning. So yeah, I mean, I guess part of this is about avoiding burnout, because one of the things that can happen is if you think that you're on your own and that you're having to manage everything without help, you'll end up burnt out, because you'll do things that, you know, you'll add more and more and more to your plate, to the things that you have to do, without actually reaching out and saying, hang on a minute, maybe there's somebody else in my circle that can help here. So it might be, you know, simple things, little things, like getting somebody to help practically with picking up the kids from somewhere for you, or, you know, calling somebody. Hey, hi Janine, how you going? Nice to have you joining. Hope you're having a nice morning. So yeah, small practical things, and often if we don't say it, people won't actually step up and help. But as soon as we mention it or we ask for help, people are often very happy to step in and give us a bit of a hand. And sometimes just those little things can make a huge difference. I can give you an example. Recently, I was going to work on a Saturday, and I had this long list of things that I needed to get in preparation for having my baby and going to hospital and all that sort of stuff. And I'd felt for a long time like this list wasn't getting any shorter. Like I'd tick a few things off, and then I'd add a few more to the list, and it just kept on going and going. And then this one night I said to my husband, we need some bibs for the baby. That's one of the things on the list that I haven't got around to getting. If you're going into town tomorrow, would you mind picking up a few bibs? And he was more than happy to do that. And the next day I came home from work, and he'd not only got some bibs, he'd got some other things that were on the list as well. And it was like this huge weight off my shoulders, and all that time he would have happily gone and done it, but I didn't think to ask him. I didn't think to reach out and say, actually, you know, there's a few things here, a few simple things that you could do that would really lift the burden from my shoulders or lift the weight. I mean, not that shopping for my baby is a burden, but it's just that, you know, those tasks that you have on your list, sometimes little simple things can make a big difference in how light you feel and how you can then come home and relax, because certain things have been shared between the you know, the two of you, or between you and your team. So, you know, in a leadership role, a perfect example is sometimes leaders tend to take on everything on themselves. They want to be seen to be supporting their team and being, you know, willing to get in there and do the hard yards and do what it takes to get the work done. But often what happens is they take so much on their shoulders, and they have a team around them of a number of people, sometimes large numbers of people in their team, and they take it all on themselves instead of actually delegating and asking others to actually, you know, take on some of those tasks and sharing the load across a broad range of people. And that's the thing, is we all have access to, whether it be in leadership or in our workplace or in a range of parts of life, we all have access to supports of people around us. And it's really about us thinking, well, who is well placed to help us with this? As I said, whether it be practical support or perhaps it's mentoring, maybe it's somebody who has a lot of experience in a particular area who can give us some advice and ideas about different ways we can approach something. Or perhaps it's somebody who's just a sounding board for us, who can help us to kind of work through what our options are and what we see as the different ways that we can move forward, and help us to kind of make decisions about what is actually going to be the best path for us. So today really is, you know, me emphasizing how important it is to remember that you're not alone, that we live in a really social world, and in every part of our lives there are people around us that are more than willing to help. And often it's just about us reaching out and saying and letting them know and asking for what it is that would be most helpful for us, and not being afraid to do that, and not feeling as though we're burdening others, but actually feeling as though we're involving them and actually bringing them around us and helping build and strengthen those relationships, because we have that closer connection and that willingness to share when we need a bit of help, or when there's something that they can do to help us. People really do value that opportunity to be able to pull around and help out sometimes. So that is the crux of what I wanted to talk to you about today. Just really remembering that you don't have to go it alone, and to reach out wherever you can. I hope that you found this useful. I will download it and pop it into YouTube with my other videos, and please leave a comment to let me know what you thought, and some of the ideas that you might have, and, you know, examples of times when you've reached out and when it's been a big saving, you know, a big help for you and taken some pressure off. All right, lovely to talk to you. I'll speak to you again in the next few days. Take care. Bye.